take it.
Move. Oh, yeah! Another one. Oh, yeah! Yeah!
If you want to take pictures, that's fine. You know, you can't film the whole thing because we're going to be filming it and then we make a video out of it. You can get it later if you want it. If you want to film something, like a technique or something, that's fine. It's up to you. You're just going to have to move, you know, go get your camera and do what you want to do. I'm perfectly fine with that. Main things to keep in mind, nobody has any weapons on them, knives, anything like that. It's going to stab, cut, any jewelry, remove earrings, things like that. Okay. Also, keep in mind that this is not a fight. You know, everybody's here to work together. Do not fight your training partner. You know, what I'm doing is I'm just showing you techniques, showing you stuff. This is not a chance to see if it works. Because the reality of a fight is the element of surprise. And if I say, hey, I'm going to throw this knee, you say, well, I want to see if that's going to hurt. You know I'm going to throw it, but you should block it. So it probably shouldn't hurt. It's just like saying, put an arm bar on me. If you want to put an arm bar on me and I do this, it'll collapse. You know, the arm bar is not going to work. So keep in mind that your partner is there for you to work with. You don't want to destroy your partner. You don't want to try to fight your partner. Questions. I love questions. You know, I've got a great experience in the fight game. You know, from the ring, the cage, the streets. You know, I fought, you know, Muay Thai kickboxing, shoot boxing, Sanchow, Chinese Sanchow, MMA, cage fighting. You know, before we had weight classes and rules and all that. You know, grew up fighting on the streets, fighting groups of people, fighting gang members. You know, professional bodyguard for all your Nelly, you know, Chingy, all the big scars I've been in. Woke up 3-4 times and pulled my own blood. You know, almost dead from bodyguarding incidents, taking guns from people, taking knives from people, falling out. So I got an extended combat experience, but that doesn't mean I know everything. All I'm doing is giving you guys my information. And anything that you doubt, feel free to ask. I always say that the only stupid questions are the ones that don't get asked. Because there are some things that may not work for you. You know, I'm just showing you stuff, and there's going to be some stuff you say, I don't like this, and it may not work for you, or there may be adjustments that I need to make for you personally. It's just like the triangle choke. That's one of the best, you know, grappling techniques in the world. It sucks for me because I got short legs, short, thick legs. I don't use it, but I teach it for people who do have the long legs and stuff like that. So everybody, don't be shy. You know, as far as us filming, you know, having taken pictures, if you don't want your picture taken, for anything, let us know. You know, Rebecca, she's taking pictures, she'll make sure she's not getting you in there. The camera just don't be filming like this small area here. So all you have to do is just stay over there if you don't want to be in the camera, that's a dead zone. But anybody have any kind of questions to go right now? Okay, first thing I want to do is go through everybody's name. I will not remember your name, but you still got to say it. I barely know mine. We'll start down here on this.
Roger.
Roger.
Angie.
Angie.
Bobby.
Bobby. Kyle.
David.
David. Rocky. That's going to be easy to remember.
Joanna.
Joanna.
Elle.
Elle.
Russell.
Michael. Russell. All right, now this is Rebecca, and I'm Jermaine. Okay. Everybody come forward a little bit. Okay. All right, spread out, get yourself a little room. And the way this works, the way that I usually instruct is what I'm going to do is, I always keep this in mind, and I know I asked you guys if you wanted to learn traditional Muay Thai or more of my, you know, my altered mixed martial art type form. And when I say altered, you know, I have an actual form that I teach in my school. And what happened is when I was teaching Muay Thai, teaching MMA, all this stuff, you know, one of the main reasons I started training and started doing the martial arts and then I extended my career even in the fight game was not so I can have a, you know, a big camp of fighters, but so I can bring it back to the everyday people and teach them how to protect themselves. That was my whole goal. To take this all the way as far as I can go and come back and say, this doesn't work, this does work, this, you know, to just be a better instructor. So what I started doing was realizing all of the weaknesses of a lot of even the arts that I train. You know, Muay Thai kickboxing, if anybody knows, the biggest weakness there is takedowns. There is no takedown defense. And we all know if anybody's been in a street fight, as soon as you punch somebody in the face, what's the first thing they do? Close their eyes and grab you, take you to the ground. So if you're a Muay Thai kickboxer, you don't have a takedown defense or a sprawl, you're not going to be able to stop it. So everything that I'm going to be showing you guys, I'm trying to show for more of a self-defense, you know, area. You'll hear me sometimes go back to traditional Muay Thai because I want you to understand You know, that's the main thing, is understanding certain arts, why they were created, what techniques are used for, why they created this technique, so you can understand how it works for you, and then you'll understand why I altered it for us today, you know, from something that was created 1,000 years ago for guys fighting, that were fighting in the ring with a referee and keeping everybody else out, and they didn't have to worry about other people or getting taken to the ground. So that's just so you kind of understand. So that's why you're just always open for any kind of question that you have to ask. Okay. All right. Any left-handers in here? Southpaws? None? Okay. All right. First thing we're going to work on is your stance. Anybody here done some Muay Thai? Okay. Muay Thai kickboxing stance. Everybody put your feet together. Go shoulder width apart. And then you're going to step straight back. Just about, man, I got between my front toe and my heel, probably about 8 inches. All right, now you see I step straight back? Don't do this. All right, Muay Thai is a front stance. Front stance, side stance. Okay? Front stance right there. All right. Hands come up, elbows out. Your left hand, because everybody here, nobody's southpaw. Your left hand is leading. Let me show you why. In Muay Thai kickboxing, the most powerful and deadliest weapons are elbows and the knees. The best thing you want to land is the elbow. I mean, I don't know how it is now, but back in the old days, it was every 3 months a Muay Thai kickboxer died in the ring from an elbow strike to the head. Elbows are very deadly. So what they're trying to do is keep you away from them with the hands here, so they can let's take stance. So you kick the leg, boom, and get you to hopefully drop those hands, boom, and come in and paw over your hands and land an elbow to the face. That's why their hands are extended. It's also extended to shut down boxing punches. So when they're going against a boxer, you know, they got their hands here, they're trying to smother those punches, and they're starting, you're going to learn when you start kicking, you'll see you leaning back a lot of times, so while the person's punching, you can kick. That's why that stance is like that, okay? So everybody, back in the stance there, you can see sometimes the hands are open, sometimes the hands are closed, and you're going to be up slightly on the balls of your feet. Heels are never touching the ground. At least not the heel on the back foot. All right, because just like playing basketball, if we're playing basketball and I'm getting ready to move and I'm on my heels, somebody come rush up, he's going to break right past me. So what's the first thing that happens when somebody come at you? You do this. You get on your toes, get ready to go. That's the same thing with fighting. You should be right there, ready to go, so you can move. Okay? Let me see everybody stands. Eye coming that head. Yep. Chin down. Those hands are protecting that head. They protect the head from a lot of stuff that you don't see. One thing that happens in a fight, especially when you're going against somebody with good hands that they can hit real good and swing, is you don't see most of it. You're not going to block most of it. So when you hear everybody look at how my head's protected, that's going to make most of their punches land and hit my arms instead of hitting my face and my head. And I can see straight up the middle, which that's the most dangerous spot, which I'm going to be closing on. All right, everybody relax. Now that you got that, forget it. All right. Okay, so in my fight game, as I started fighting, did everybody hear me on that? Did we got that off? The words of them is get ready to get hot here. All right, so I'll tell you. When I met Ron Smith, that's where my Muay Thai training came from, which came from Phuket, from Thailand. Ron was trying to think of a way to defeat Thais. Thais were big in Muay Thai kickboxing, right? Guess what everybody wanted to be? Thai boxer. Ron Smith said, why the heck do I want to be a Thai boxer? When everybody's, I want to learn how to beat them. Well, Ron Smith came from Henry Armstrong, who was a professional boxer, world champion, held, I think, titles in almost every weight class. And so what Ron did was he took the Muay Thai kickboxing stance and brought the hands here. So instead of Muay Thai punches, I'm not going to teach you how to punch wide and strong. What Muay Thai kickboxing does is they sacrifice control for power. Okay? Taekwondo sacrifices power for control. Muay Thai sacrifices control for power, then regains control. Okay? Round kick from Taekwondo, round kick from Muay Thai. Okay, you see that sacrifice the control for power. So what he did was took away the power and put the hands under control. So now, instead of looping hard punches, where you're throwing your body weight behind, which is what the Thais did, because the little people, they put their body weight behind this stuff. Now, it's these smoking hands that the Thais aren't used to. So now, that's where you get ready to go to. Okay? So from here, we've evolved to here. All right? Which is what I was using from Ron Smith, which helped me to destroy everybody who's trying to be a Thai boxer. Trying to be like that. Because then I come in, head moving to hit them, they get their head knocked off. Then I go to Muay Thai and kick their legs from underneath. Okay, so I'm taking you through this evolution that I had to get punched in the face to learn. All right, so you're there. Okay, let me see that stance. Chin protected. Always think about protecting that head. Good. Now relax. Now forget that. All right, so then, that was great for Ron's career. But guess what I started doing that Ron wasn't doing? Cage fighting. That's when you got the problem, people take you to the ground. All right? So, now, take your stance. Remember, here's Muay Thai, traditional Muay Thai, Ron Smith's Muay Thai, Jermaine Andre's Muay Thai. So now, I'm squatting down, so I can still punch, I still kick. But guess what? When you shoot on home, I can sprawl. I can even shoot and take you down if I want to. Okay? So that's what we evolved to. From here to here to there. And I always tell everybody, the easiest way to think of this, like you're playing basketball. All right? Right there. Elbows tight for protection, chin down. Right there, just like that. Nice and compact. All right, everybody relax. Now what we're going to do, a little drill. Because where people get lost at is in their stance. You'll see, you can even watch pro fights today. And whenever the action start going, and they start getting hit, and she's hitting me, boom, boom, you see all this crap happening, and then what do you see on the highlights? You see a knockout like this. All right, come on. I mean, I know they got $1 million behind them and all the press of the world and all this, but what in the heck is that? Who teaches that? Nobody. That means he was afraid, he got lucky. That was not a technique. Because it should have looked like that. Like you see in boxing. Man, let's be for real. If you see a knockout boxing, this technique, you know, eyes may be a little closed, but the technique's there. But that's because they lose their stance. Watch their footwork. As soon as they come in here, as soon as they start getting hit, you start turning into that. Instead of they start getting hit, you start turning into that. And there are a lot of fighters coming up that are starting to have good stances, and better control, and better real power. So your stance is important. It's where the fight starts. And that's a self-defense. Where's the fight start in self-defense? Right here. Because you want to surprise them. Don't go to your stance, then hit them. Okay? Hit them first, then go to your stance. All right? But it starts in your stance when you fight, and it ends there. Whatever technique you do, back to your stance. Whatever technique you do, back to your stance. No matter what it is I do, back to my stance. I don't ever want to get sloppy. All right, so everybody stand normal. When I say stance, get your stance, we go back to normal. All right? Stance. Relax. Stance. Relax. Stance. Relax.